Now that you've told us about what Eddie has achieved in the classroom, can you please relate that to the work of Jim Cummins and his framework of decontextualized and contextualized language use?
Cummins' work on decontextualized and contextualized language, or context-embedded and context-reduced language, I think is very important and has probably received less attention than some of the other contributions that he's made. I have 2 video clips that I think you'll enjoy. In fact, if you wanted to use the framework that I'm going to discuss with you in a minute to analyze the language on the video clips, this may be useful for you also. It's very important when you look at the video clips that you realize that those video clips were made one morning with the same boys and the same teacher, all within probably 20 minutes of each other, and come from another study that we were looking at where teachers and students shared language and culture and how much that can help children to feel comfortable in communicating and responding. So these children were very comfortable responding, and they were very comfortable with this teacher. And I'm not going to say that both boys or neither boy were in special ed, but there was some element of special ed in this environment. And I say that because I think it's important that we not create an expectation about who these children are, other than there is a relationship to special ed here. In the first video clip that you would look at, the teacher asked the boys to describe what they were doing, and then look at the language that they produced as they're actually handling the equipment. They're creating a tornado in a bottle, and then they're very descriptive, and their language is very metaphorical, and I think rather amazing when you think about all that they have to say and their enthusiasm for doing it. And they made that tornado many, many times in that bottle and watched it and talked about it, and they enjoyed doing it. And that was related to the larger picture of how hurricanes are formed and the relationship of hot air and cold air and the development of a storm. These boys had been through a hurricane just recently, so they have been taught the information. This is not new information for them. And they're not active. The teacher is holding a picture of a hurricane with the eye center formation, and the boys are looking at it and listen to what they have to say when they're looking at that picture. That picture for them, in one sense, is not totally context reduced in that they had participated in a hurricane, but it is in the sense that perhaps they had never been asked that question before and they really didn't respond. If we use that same question on a FCIT or any kind of an assessment test, which is not unlikely, children at that age are supposed to understand weather formations, I don't think they would be given much credit for it. And so we might really penalize them in ways that wouldn't help them learn more, and we might frame them in ways that didn't facilitate their learning. So it's very important for teachers to be aware of what they're doing in contextualizing or decontextualizing language. Mm-hmm.